Planning for a bathroom basin is a hectic task. A considerable lot of us have been in that circumstance when you are moving into another home, or maybe redesigning a current home, and you must purchase another restroom sink. You probably won't make certain about the kinds of washroom sinks accessible, or what is imperative to consider when purchasing restroom sinks. Right now, we'll consider a portion of the components you should mull over, just as quickly examining a portion of different elements you should consider before purchasing a sink. One of the most significant components to consider is space. What are your uncommon limitations when purchasing and fitting another sink just like cloakroom basin? There is no point picking your fantasy washroom sink, just to find that it doesn't fit in, or then again that it glimpses excessively little inside your restroom. Consider the structure of the room. Will the washroom sink go toward the side of the room, or do you need it to be the focal point of the room? You ought to likewise think about the style of the restroom, and the style of the sink which you might want to place in. Numerous individuals are fanatics of a glass sink, which can glance amazingly tasteful in the correct washroom, yet watch strange in a contrastingly styled restroom. Do you wish to go for a contemporary look, versus a utilitarian look? Maybe you are less worried about style, and increasingly about the least expensive, practical alternative. These components are significant, and you should pick the correct decision for your restroom. These days, there are heaps of various sorts of materials for cloakroom basin to be made from. We quickly referenced glass sinks above, yet you can likewise purchase your sink in various materials. Other various sorts of materials incorporate marble or metal sinks, although by a long shot the most mainstream material for sinks is vitreous china. The principal purpose behind this is these washroom sinks will in general be the most solid, just as being a lot simpler to clean. At the point when you consider how often per day that a washroom sink is utilized, this is one of the essential purposes behind the notoriety of vitreous china. As far as the various kinds or styles of restroom sinks that you can buy, there are a wide assortment of cloakroom basin. These incorporate platforms, ledge, divider-mounted, corner, inset, semi-recessed, space-sparing /en-suite or under-counter bowls. Continuously recollect that your decision is an individual choice, considering your preferences and the space in which you need to work with the cloakroom basin. Before you settle on the choice which cloakroom basin to get, you ought to likewise consider different factors, for example, establishment. Regardless of whether you will have the option to introduce your own sink will rely upon your own DIY abilities. Some washroom sink organizations will remember establishment for their costs, though others won't. Right now, you are not competent at DIY, you might be best encouraged to procure a handyman to come and fit the cloakroom basin for you. This ought not be an excessively costly venture, notwithstanding, it is clearly significant that your sink and water pressure is appropriately fixed. At the point when you have settled on the choice which sink to get, you must choose where to purchase the basins UK from. One of the integral variables can some of the time be what warranty each organization is eager to give. Continuously do your exploration to locate a respectable organization and attempt to ensure that the organization includes a decent notoriety inside the business and that they have positive audits. The Royal Bathrooms ensure the customers for all the factors to be considered as the premium tasks with zero risk of damage or low quality.